Welcome to the Ladies Lounge.
And we're back. Welcome everybody to the show. I'm Carmen, my girl Lena.
Hey.
We got a good show for y'all. So, we're trying to do like this formatted show as best as possible. We kicked off 3 different things for you guys. So for one, we decided that we're gonna call our supporters homies.
Homies.
Right? Because at the end of the day, that's what y'all are, for support.
Yes.
Even though most of you will know us before we know you, we appreciate you. So that alone, that respect, that loyalty makes us homies, right?
Homies.
So we're basically making the thing, which is going to be every part of our show. It's going to be part of the show every time. It's called the Homie Shot. And this is a part where we answer your questions. And we basically chit chat with you with things that you guys have brought to the table. So we want to incorporate your life issues, your life experiences. Hey, even if you want to call us out on our bullshit, you know what I'm saying? We'll take that too.
I'm open for it. I'm all open for it.
Yeah,
I saw the news today. It said, don't come over here with your bullshit, and then the little chickens over there walking over there like
with the bullshit.
You coming over to my bullshit.
Yes. So yeah, Homie Shot. We're gonna include you guys as much as possible. So that is also a metaphor for, like what we do at the Ladies Lounge. We accept shots from the bar. So we're going to take your shots. Okay. So that's one. And then we're doing the pinche clout. And this means anything internet, right? Social media, stuff that's happening, that's trending on social media. Stuff that's happening on the internet that everyone's talking about. Sometimes we're going to hit this. There's going to be times where it's going to be dry with that, and that's okay. But when there's important topics or important things that I think we need to mention for whatever reason, maybe we want to add on to it. Maybe we want to talk shit, as we do that from time to time. So we're going to add that, and that's just a way to get you guys in tune with what's going on and just kind of give you the opinions that we have with certain things. So the other thing that we're doing is the Cheeseman Alert. And this is anything in life experiences. So if Lena has some Cheeseman to tell me, I'm telling her she's got to tell me on the show.
Right. Because we normally do that anyways. I'll call you and I'll be like, girl, I got some Cheeseman.
Yeah. So instead of us having these conversations, and most of the time we are going to have those conversations, but if it's like good enough Cheeseman, we're going to bring it to the show we're going to put our lives on the line, like put ourselves on blast. But it's okay, because that's what we want. Like, we want people to feel comfortable with us and feel like you guys know us. So that's why we thought of the Cheeseman Alert. And sometimes I'm going to have Cheeseman, sometimes she's going to have Cheeseman, sometimes the world's going to have Cheeseman that we're going to talk about. So those are our 3 staples for the show so far, and that's just to keep you guys in tune with what's going on in the world, with our opinions on certain things. And like I said, if there's something that you guys want us to talk about, shoot us a DM, slide in our DMs.
Yeah, go down the DM.
Yeah, so let's get started. So we got the Homie Shot, and by that we are going to get to some of the questions. We actually put out a question IG stories for you guys to tell us, what you guys want us to talk about, or something that you're interested in, or something that you're going through. So you gave us a lot of good stuff. I'll let you start it off, because I know you got some on your end.
All right. So shout out to the homie Cuddy. He hit us up and said, basically, what do we think about a woman making the first move and sliding in the DMs? Speaking of DMs.
Ooh. Like women making the first move?
Like if she makes the first move and she's the one who slides in the DMs. So what do you think about that?
I think fuck yeah. Like, I think there's no room to there's no room, no time to waste. You know what I'm saying? If you feel that there should be a connection there, or there's a potential connection because you've been following homeboy or whatever, and you feel like maybe he's a lot like me, or maybe he might feel me. Damn, if I'm liking everything about him, he might like me. So why not shoot your shot? I feel like you don't lose on that. I personally haven't done it, but here's what I have done that I've fallen guilty of, and this is maybe I shouldn't wrap myself out. No, I'm in a relationship now. What the fuck am I talking about? I should just put it out there. this is what I've done in the past, okay? In my single days, I have never actually slid in someone's DMs first. I've actually will drop like a comment on a photo of someone that I just started following, or someone that follows me, but I was like, oh, dang, you cute. So like I'll drop like an emoji or a comment on a picture. It's not a personal thing. And then that is always my bait, and they end up DMing me. The person that I found attractive ended up like DMing me. So that's worked for me. So technically that to me is like a DM without doing it because ego. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
what do
Yeah.
you think?
I guess, yeah, I think that if, like you said, you're attracted to that person, you want to, start up a conversation. And I have a girl who is in a relationship now with a guy who she slid in his DMs. And I think in person, I have done it. Like I went and I was like, let me go ahead and shoot my shot, because he was so painfully shy. And he ended up being the love of my life. He's somebody that obviously isn't in my life anymore. But
I was gonna say, wait, love your life? Please explain.
He was somebody who was very significant to me, and of course, life goes on. So yeah,
So to this day, you have like a connection with that person on a different level. It wasn't like a waste. You wouldn't consider it a waste?
Not at all. Like it was totally worth it, because one, the sex was amazing, and then two, like he was just somebody great who I feel like he just set the bar.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So I say, ladies, shoot your shots.
That's true. And I will say, there's gonna be a lot of hit and miss. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I never miss.
Okay, same. I'm just saying. Listen, I don't want to jinx myself, because say like 2 fucking years from now, I end up being single again, and I try
No, don't say that.
I'm gonna be so depressed if like that's me. I'll be like, remember that one time I said it's never happened.
Remember? Oh, I'm gonna put myself on blast, because it did happen to me. Remember when I took you to do your painting last year for your birthday? Not last year, but the year before that. And then there was the painting. Remember we did the second painting?
Yeah.
Like not this year, but like that. And remember the guy?
You gotta talk about this. Yes. Okay. But in Angie's defense, the dude may have been gay.
Possibly, very possibly. And you know what? My gator's pretty good, because a lot of my close friends are gay.
Well, it wasn't good that one day, girl.
Yeah, because I honestly couldn't tell. He was fine. Either. I was looking at him. He was looking at me. I'm over there trying to paint, trying to be Picasso.
Y'all were flirting, though. There was definitely flirting there.
Right? Yeah, because he would, like, come by and give us our drink and stuff. So I was like, hey, Papi. Like, he was looking at me. I'm looking at him.
Yeah.
And so we end up paying. And I get the receipt back. And then Carmen's like, girl, write your number on there. And so I was like, should I? Like, I don't know. I'm kind of nervous. I don't know if I should. She's like, girl, what's the worst that's going to happen? Like, he's not going to call you. So I'm like, yeah, you're right. So I ended up writing my phone number on the receipt, and he never hit me up.
It was the worst that could happen.
Like,
no. Okay. Huh? Well, listen, here's what I would say with that situation, okay? Yes, he was flirting, but now that I think about it, Ange, I think he was trying to get tips, you know what I'm saying? Because it was his job to make sure we always had drinks, and that he was doing his job at the server. So
right.
I'm like, did we fall into the trap of like, bitch, I'm just doing my job? Like,
absolutely. He's like, this bitch looks vulnerable as hell. Let me go ahead and.
Or maybe listen, either one. I feel like he was gay, because he did have like certain tendencies. I can't say
certain mannerisms. Right.
Man. Yeah, it was there. So I kind of thought like, but I'm like, damn, he's really cute, and he seems to be flirting. And I think if he was gay, we have a lot of gay friends, and we would feel that like, oh, he's totally like, hell yeah, girl. But
homegirl,
get that, yeah. But when he never called and texted you back, that's when we were like.
And you know what? I had to think about it too. I was like, did I write down the right number?
Because you don't
call yourself. You know how you don't call yourself, so you don't know if it's the right number?
Angie was doubting herself. She was just like, couldn't believe this dude just didn't. Yeah.
He never bothered to hit me up. So I was definitely in my feelings, because he was cute. We should go back.
Like, what happened? You married?
I got a new number. I'll be like, I got a new number. So what's up? You
Yeah.
hit
Oh,
that
you're like,
phone?
what if you try calling me now and I have a new number? Andrew, that was 2 years ago. Couldn't have been. Couldn't have been. But anyway, yeah. So that was a good point. You were disappointed, like, because it's never really happened to you. But hey,
Right.
but listen, did you die?
I got humbled.
There you go. Woke you the fuck up. Okay. So that was a good question, because I still, like, obviously we both agree that, yeah, shoot your shot. If you really feeling it, do it,
Do it, girl. Do it.
But some people, I'm pretty sure, are going to say, Carmen, how are you going to say do it when you've never done it? So I guess y'all are right about that. Like, yeah, I've never done it, but I think that was my way of doing it. Like I said, leaving comments. So yeah, keep me whatever.
I'm Kobe in this bitch, so I just,
Shot
I'm
it.
out there.
You ain't gonna make every shot. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so we had a lot of good questions, man.
You got a lot of good ones.
Yeah, man. So there's one here that I gotta share with you, because I was like, oh, this one's very topical. It says, what is the difference between talking, seeing, dating someone, than being in a relationship? And this is, by the way, from Remy. Yeah.
I know a Remy. I see he's still keeping tabs. So
it's
anyway.
not Remy. Well, listen, he's bro too. He's bro, so gotta love him. But yeah. I don't even know if we should get into that story. I kind of want to, though. It's up to you.
I mean, I don't really care. I just feel like it's funny that it comes from him. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right.
But he's blocked, so whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
So,
okay, he's blocked, but he can still listen to the podcast. So in case you're listening,
thanks for listening.
What do you think the difference between, talking, seeing someone, or dating someone? And it's very true. Like, there's different
levels.
Yeah. Right. So what's the difference?
Okay, so to me, talking to somebody is like those beginning stages where you're like getting to know each other. What's your favorite color? What kind of movies do you like? Whatever. You haven't officially started like seeing each other. You're just getting to know each other, right?
Right.
And I think seeing each other is exactly that. Like, you're going out on dates. You're actually, doing things together. And then dating, you're getting pretty serious, right? Now you're to the point where you're more likely exclusive, so you're only seeing each other. And then, if you're in a relationship, then
then what's the difference between separating in a relationship and dating exclusively? I feel like there's a really thin line between the two, right? It's almost the same thing. So here's what I would say, in my opinion, what the difference between those is. I think you hit the nail on the head with all of the other ones. The talking to someone, the seeing someone, the dating someone is where it gets risky, because it's so close to being official with someone. You just don't have the title. I think what it is boundaries. When you're dating someone and you're exclusively dating that person, but you don't have the title yet, I think it's where you start setting boundaries with, are you okay with me still going on dates with other people? Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. Okay, cool. Then we stand on the same page. If one person says to the other, are you okay if I start seeing other people or dating other people too? Because we're still getting to know each other. We're going on dates. And that person says, I really want to just keep it between you and I. And then the other person says, well, we're not official yet, so why can't I still dip my toes in other pools? Like that's when it gets like, set boundaries. You know what I'm saying? You're rolling your eyes for a reason, Angie. Go ahead. Speak your piece.
I mean, sometimes it should be really obvious, like where we're at. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if we're talking all day, every day, bro, and you're still hollering at other girls. Like, why are you in my text, wasting my unlimited text messaging, but you still over there, trying to see what's up with some other girls?
Yeah,
that bothers me, because if you're still entertaining other females, why are you giving me all your time and energy? That don't make no kind of sense. I'm like, damn, you have a lot of energy. I don't have it. I'm gonna be honest. I do not like dealing with multiple people, because one, I forget what I told one and what the other one. Two, I'm not trying to be on Maury, so I'm definitely not messing with multiple people. And honestly, I'm just old school. I just like dating one person.
Yeah.
That's just who I am.
So with that situation, you're saying that this person was obviously, when you guys were in the dating stages, he was still trying to find something else while you were just focused on him. Clearly it was unfair.
Yeah, I don't think that's cool. Like, especially if we both said that we were only seeing each other and you're still, you know, entertaining other girls. Like, that's not cool.
That's true. Well, I think it's important to clarify boundaries. And I think that should be established with seeing someone, with talking to someone, because what someone considers, talking to someone else may consider, we're dating already, So I think definitely set boundaries in all three. But specifically when you're dating and starting to get exclusive, if you feel like you're dropping people and you're ignoring other people for this specific person, I think it's time you have that conversation with the person, because now your feelings and you're more emotionally attached maybe than the other person is. So it's good for you to clarify, so you don't get your feelings hurt, or so you don't end up, looking like the bitter one, when really it's like, nah, you did me dirty. You know what I'm saying? It's not that.
All you gotta do is be honest, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're telling me this sad story about you and your ex and how, she played you and all this stuff, but then you're basically with a chick that you're saying is your best friend, and then all of a sudden you're posting her and you guys are together.
Oh, that's a whole nother topic.
Woo. I'm throwing hella shade right now, so I don't really care.
Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew. Hold up. Wait a minute. It's a chopper. No, yeah, that's true. That's true. I totally agree with that. I agree with you on that, man. And I feel like that is a topic within itself, because I feel like so many people, and this is men, y'all know, you hate it when women call dudes bro and stuff like that. And a lot of times we do really have just that friendship, but you hate it. So why do you hate it? But it's not a big deal when it's the other way around. You calling women sis left and right. So that's a whole another topic, but you have
matching your sis. Come on, bruh.
You have something there. Okay, so there's another one that we got. Again, we got a lot of good ones. Dating in 2020. What is love? Does it still exist? This is from Kicks 2481. I'll lead by saying that even though I have been in 2 domestic violence relationships, I have been lied to, cheated on in 99% of my relationships, with the exception of one that I chose to walk away from because I just didn't feel the feelings were mutual, but he didn't cheat on me, didn't mistreat me, none of that. Even with all that negativity that I've had in my love life, I still believe that love does exist, because of the relationship I'm in now, and because I feel like just because you haven't met your match does not mean, and I tell you this all the time, just because you have not met your match does not mean that it's not out there for you. You know what I'm saying? It's just you haven't found it yet.
Well, dating in 2020, first of all, we're going to have to be only text messaging or messaging each other, because that's all we can do right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. 2020 done fucked up everybody's like dating ability. So so here's the crazy part. I have actually, a lot of the guys that I have dated have been long distance. Even my last one, we were still long distance. So we get to know each other better by not having to, or by having to, like, text message and call each other, FaceTime each other, versus, being in the same city. So actually, yeah, I think most of my situationships have been that, where we didn't even live in the same city. Somebody didn't even live in the same country as me. So
that was crazy. And even with that, that's a whole nother, like, man, listen, with that situation, I gave you so many like girl talks where I was being real with you, but also real careful with you, because I didn't want you to think that I wasn't supporting you,
Right.
When it finally happened, I wasn't like,
it was like, pendeja, I told you.
Yeah, that's the thing. The first thing was never like, I told her. My thing was, I fucking hate being right at that moment, because I hate that I've been there before too. So that shit sucks. Right. You're like, you wanted to be good. You wanted to prove everybody wrong so bad, because you truly believe you're going into this with pure intentions, with good intentions, and it turns out the other person just wasn't shit, you know?
Yep. So, you know, but yes, love does still exist. I have actually been working on a special project that has to do with love. And I think that even after, like you said, bad experiences, I still very much believe in it because I have it in me, you know, like I know that I have the ability to love somebody unconditionally. And the more I study it, like there's a doctor actually that I started following. I believe her name's like Dr. Shafali. She's really, really dope. And she talks about, you know, just mindfully loving somebody and being present. And she's talking about how, you know, we think that love is a certain thing, and it's actually the complete opposite. And loving somebody should make them feel free and make them feel like liberated. And that's something that I want to continue to study and understand. So loving someone is more than just this feeling. It's a verb. You know, you actually have to put action behind it. So I would say dating in 2020, actually, I didn't even tell you this. So you know how on Facebook, there's like this dating option,
right?
Okay, so I went on there last night.
Oh, what? Okay,
I was bored because I was bored.
Okay, so I think I've seen it. There's like a tab for it, but is that like singlepeoplemeet.com type of thing?
Basically, I mean, it's basically Tinder on, you know, Facebook. So.
Okay, wait. So what happened?
Okay, so I go on there. I'm on there for like, I signed up for it. I'm on there for like maybe 10 minutes, and I was already overwhelmed with all the like messages I was getting and likes, and I was just like, oh, this is too much for me. Because
so like when you join, does it alert people like yeah?
Like there's some new meat in town. And let me tell you, they're like, round
them up, fellas. Oh, that sucks. Like,
it was too much for me. And because, you know, I'm not ready to date. So I just wanted to see what it was. I was like, I keep seeing it pop up. I keep seeing, you know, advertisement for it. Let me just see what it is. So I went on there.
Bumble?
I have tried Bumble in the past. Yeah, I've tried Tinder. I've tried Bumble. I've tried all of those. But I mean, they were in like, you know, in LA. So it was a little different. The options were a little different, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So when I saw like all this sausage going into my inbox, I was like, oh, it's too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
And then plus it was like 2-3 in the morning. So I was like, you guys, what are you guys doing up right now? Like, I'm up because I'm working on something. What are you guys doing? So it was a little bit overwhelming.
But with those, can you like view their page? Like,
yes, girl. And I went on their page and I was just like, oh no, girl. Every one of them, I was like, oh, Dios mío, I'm gonna die alone. Like, I just can't do it.
Sad. That's so disappointing because I feel like if you're gonna get to know someone, I would think that Facebook would probably be the best way to kind of get, I don't know, I say you give it a second chance. I say you give it a second chance at a different time of the day. Now, weirdos probably come out at night, so maybe you were getting the fucked up crowd, you know what I'm saying? You were getting the go home, Roger. You were getting those dudes. But give it another shot. During the morning, you know what I'm saying? Maybe
later.
Hours.
You know what? I'm just not open to it. And that's the thing. Like, I'm just not open to dating right now. So, of course, I mean, it could be, you know, it could be somebody fine as hell. And I'll probably be like,
but
you know,
why did you go on, Angie? A part of you
I was curious. Okay, I was curious, and curiosity.
A part of you is like, I want it. And then you're like, wait, let me take it back.
You know what it is? It's like, and you can tell me whether I'm right or I'm wrong, but you know, like when you go through something with somebody and then you're like, damn, was it me? Like, you know, do I still got it? You know, so I was like, let me see if, you know, I put the little worm on the hook and was like, and they all said, and I was like, okay, that's too much. It's too much. So I'm just not ready for it, you know. And like I said, once I am ready, I'll probably, you know, put myself out there again. But dating is definitely different in 2020. One, because of this quarantine. 2, because people just, honestly, a lot of people just want to fucking like call it a day. And I'm not about that life. So for me, it's really hard to date because I feel like a lot of guys, remember I told you I'm going to start catfishing. I'm going to start catfishing guys with another girl. so that they're not like automatically like trying to, you know, mess with me. So
that's true. But then you're gonna have a whole like drama there, because then it's like, man, have you seen the show Catfish? Sometimes they're like, if you would have just told me you were yourself, I would have fell in love with you. Nah, you wouldn't have. Okay, because the person I put had bigger chichis than me and bigger nalgas. Like, so there's just so much to that, you know, that you got to be careful with. But
no, I'm gonna put like, you know, a different kind of girl. Actually, probably some of the girls that like my exes have messed with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll use them. You know?
Yeah. Okay. Maybe there's something to that. I gotta hear those stories. Okay. But that's gonna round up the homie shots. We actually have a lot more. We'll eventually get to some of those because there's some good ones on here. I'm gonna just leave you with this one from 4245, who says, "What gets you horny?" I'm not gonna answer that. Okay, that's a trick question. That's a trick question. No, let's not answer that. Okay. So anyway, we're gonna round it up there. Shout out to homie shots, by the way. If you want to send in your questions, concerns, comments, shit talking, whatever, send it to us on a DM. You could always slide in our DMs, of course, on the Ladies Lounge Podcast Instagram, or of course our personal ones, either one. If you have a good one, we're gonna get to it. So we have the pinche clout, okay, stuff that's going on in the internet, stuff in the world, and basically the reason why we chose to call it this is because, for one, we're hella Mexican, and when we think of the internet, we think of like a lot of people try to, you know, get that clout, whether it's a TikTok or, you know, becoming a YouTuber or whatever. But there's also a lot of authentic clout moments that just happen, right? And so on special occasions, we'll talk about those. And for today, for instance, I came across one that I think is very important. Shout out to Doja Cat and Nicki Minaj, because they got the #1 record on the billboards right now. And I think it is important to note that it's two females, hella dope. You know, Nicki and Doja dropped this record a day or 2 days after Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce had dropped their Savage remix, which I was like, that's hella dope. Like, we got all these females coming together, and get this. So Doja and Nicki are #1, Megan and Beyonce are #2. Like, that's fucking amazing, right? And so Doja jumped on IG Live. I'm not sure if you saw it. Did you see this?
No.
So Doja jumped on IG Live to basically thank her fans and thank the people. But she had some really fucking good comments to make about how the rap game for females is so different now than it was back then. Back when, you know, growing up with like Remy Ma and Lil Kim and these like Foxy, all these dope rappers, you know, female rappers, were in one way or another kind of pinned against each other. And it wasn't, a lot of the times it wasn't them, you know, putting themselves against each other. It was the record label, or it was, you know, people pinning them together or comparing them. And so to me, I think it's dope that she brought it up, that she said, now it's not about that. Now it's like we've overcome the being against each other and instead working together to be stronger, to be better, and to overcome things. And look at them. Like, they got together on this record. Doja had this record herself already, but made it 10 times better to team up with a female who was amazing, of course, like Nicki Minaj. Then you got Megan Thee Stallion. Her record was already hot too. But then when, you know, she joined forces with Beyonce, it's like it's just so dope. And I think it's important to note that that is an example of how life should be too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Elaborate to that.
Yeah, I mean, I love me some Doja Cat. I've been following her since like 2014, 15. Like, I love her. I actually just took my daughter to a music festival in November specifically to see Doja and like a few other artists, obviously, but we're definitely Doja fans. And, you know, just of course seeing the ladies just do their thing. I believe it was like on Saturday, Erykah Badu and Jill Scott, you know, did their verses, which was dope as hell. I was in there with my sage and I was like, better call Tyrone.
Yeah, man.
I was in there. So, you know, I saw the mic and I was like gonna pull a Jill Scott on it. But anyway,
for real.
So yeah, I definitely enjoy seeing the ladies work together. Even me and you know, a lot of women in our industry, entertainment, specifically radio.
Right.
First of all, in radio, there's very limited slots for women. There's only 2 3 max
Yeah.
ladies on, you know, radio on each station. So, you know, for me and you to be able to like work together, and, you know, it's all about women empowerment right now. And I think, you know, the more we work together and show people how powerful we are as a force together, people are going to be like, wow, I respect them, you know? So
Yeah, and like,
I'm all for it.
I think it's dope that, yeah, that now we're seeing it a lot more. Like, this is something that honestly should have been established like a long time ago, you know? So the fact that we're doing it now, and I know people feel like, a lot of people feel like, okay, get over it, or like, yeah, it's happening, whatever. Like, well, what are you guys complaining now? Everything is basically men and women or whatever. But I'm just like, no, it's still very important for us to remember to highlight these moments, because just like we got it and how long it took for us to get to this, it could be taken away from us. So if we don't highlight it, if we don't show the recognition that it deserves, then it becomes stale. Then it becomes, it is what it is. And like, no, this was a major accomplishment for women to get to where we are now, especially to have the number 1 record and number 2 records to be all women. Like, that's fucking dope. And like you said, with radio, I wanted for people to know just a quick note to, if you're ever listening to radio, just pay attention to how radio works. You will hear, Andrew just said, there's very limited slots. Just pay attention. You will hear most men, but in between they separate it by throwing one woman in there, one woman or two by separating us, right? It's never like, you'll never have a morning show of 2 women. Like, it's very rare, a successful morning show. Why? Still, no one has given us an answer. No one has really, you know, put it out there. In radio, though, it's just tough. But if you just pay attention by tuning into whatever radio station you choose to listen to, you will notice that there's not many women in radio, and it's not because there's lack of talent. There's so many talented women, but why is it? You know what I'm saying? Why do we have to be the separation? Why can't it be just how there is men and women, going back to back in radio? Why can't it be women and women back to back? Like, it's just crazy that to this day that hasn't changed. So there are more opportunities, that there is, you know what I'm saying, than it was before. But to say that things have gotten a lot better, but things are still the same. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Oh, and also another thing for the Bean Shit Clout that was that I think was important for us to bring up, because it's so fucking good. So Safari and Safari and Erica Mena, right? They just got married. They have a baby. And I forgot, is it, who sings My Neck, My Back?
Oh my God, why am I blanking out right now? Yes.
Okay. So she went on social media, and I just saw this clip randomly in the shade room, but she went on social media and was basically like, how is it that this couple just got married? They just had a baby, and they're already on an OnlyFans page. Now, people are giving them shit about it too, because they're like, what the fuck? Like, they're on the OnlyFans separate. They're not on there together, meaning he's doing his cochino stuff on his shit. And then she decided, like, shortly thereafter he made his page, she jumped on. So basically people are like, why is she doing this? Like, she just had a baby. She should be focusing on that. And people are like, what is it nowadays with people just having these open marriages? Like, what the fuck is so like, how are you that desperate to be, doing stuff like this? So I'm reading all the comments, and I'm just like, man, people are bashing her. Hey, listen, I always say to each his own, but there are some questions there. Like, for one, we know Erica Mena is crazy when it comes to the insecurities and, like, feeling some type of way about him. So what made her be like, okay, you can go ahead and do that, and I'm gonna do mine? Money. I understand money is a big part of it, but like, how do you get to that if you just got married, Yeah,
I don't really see that lasting too long. Crazy. Safari got hella print, so I mean, I can see why he's on there. I mean, I might.
Yeah, I see that too.
See him, but
yeah, like if you've never seen Safari's Ding-a-ling, just look it up. I'm sure you'll find it. But
and some sweatpants, let me tell you, that's the truth right there.
So yeah, and that's why.
Thank you, God.
Yeah, and that's why we see, you know what I'm saying, that he's on there, or why he's on there, and why he took advantage of that. But then it's like, why now? Well, shit, I shouldn't even say that, because obviously we know why he's doing it, for the money, because right now it's up for everybody. But isn't that crazy? Like,
they got a baby to feed, you know what I'm saying? And Erica kind of always been a thought, so that's no surprise.
Well,
So yeah.
listen, with Erica, I love her. Like I really do, man. So
Yeah.
to me,
I mean, you can love somebody and still tell the truth. We all know Erica being a thought, you know, so like her being on OnlyFans, it's like, well, duh, of course.
Well, honestly, that's the one thing that shocks me because I've been fucking following her forever. I just love her. It's just sometimes she'd be pissing me off. Like I'm like, why are you doing that? Or this and that. But with the OnlyFans or fans only, what the fuck it's called, I just never thought she would. I never thought she would because I'm like, well, now, especially now that she's married, but I just feel like I didn't think she would take it there. I know that she's been around before, and maybe people are judging her because she has been trying to find love. And, we've all been there where we're trying to find the right person. It's just hers is different because it's in the public eye. You know what I'm saying? So to me, what threw me off is like, why now that you have a newborn baby and you're married, like why now? And I know that she showed also how much they make. They are fucking making a lot of money together and separate. But it's like that can damage your relationship. That can eventually fuck your relationship up. Like no matter how secure you are, at some point your man is showing his dick to everybody. Your girl is showing her chi-chis and coochie to everybody. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of risk there.
Yeah, no, there definitely is. I actually used to work for a media company that had a streaming service, which is pretty much the same thing as OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And like I joked with one of my friends and she was like, shoot, I'm gonna put a mask on and call it Phantom of the Pussy. Like, I mean,
if it's getting paid.
Okay,
yeah, I mean, maybe that's the page they're on because I hear that they got the OnlyFans page and then they also have they're selling porn. They're selling their porn.
I don't know.
I may be wrong about that, but I thought I read that somebody said that they're selling their porn and then they're separately, they got the OnlyFans page.
Yeah, so, I don't know. But I mean, I guess for them, it works for them. And I mean like, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, I couldn't do it. My man is not about to have all my shit out there, and neither would I want my body out there like that, So, yeah, I mean, to each their own.
But see, here's the thing: they would justify it as in, well, we're celebrities, and we got to keep up with continue to make money, and we can't just get a regular job, Yeah. But if that's,
they were on Love and Hip Hop,
which got canceled, so they can't just go on and be, these. I don't know. I just feel like I see why they're doing it. I'm like, I don't know if I would risk my marriage, my fresh marriage. If it's real, if it's authentic, it's real love, and it's not just for the cameras. I just don't see why it would be so easy to be like, fuck it, let's do it for money. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, but anyway, that's why it was trending because everybody knows they just got married. She just had a baby, and she started this page. Do you have anything else for Pinch of Clout?
Pinch of Clout, I actually thought it was funny. I was on Instagram and I saw this funny thread. I think it was from Twitter. But basically this girl was talking about how she had caught her man cheating, and it took her like 2 weeks to actually like expose him. She had him sign, the release on his name on the lease. So she said she went up to him and did it while he was playing his game. And then she, one night when he went out with the boys, she packed all his shit nicely and, and put it in his car. And then she called the tow truck so that they could come and tow his car. And she was like, I took an edible that night and went to sleep like a baby. And yeah, like that shit was genius to me. I don't know if I could hold something like that for 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I know one of my girls, she was gangsta about her shit. So a girl contacted her and told her, the whole story between her and her, the guy that my girl was living with. Yeah. And she woke him up that night and was like, get up, get your shit and get out of here. It was like 1 a.m. And I was like, yes, that's how you do it.
There's no way. Like when you have so much evidence, like, so much proof, like how do I will never understand that. I can't hold it in. And the longest I've held something in is maybe 24 hours, and that's to make sure I have a backup to my backup, because I know the type of excuses that men come up with. So I will like have to think of something to cover that real quick before he tries to go this way. I'm like, well, I already got this. You know what I'm saying? So that's the most I could probably hold it in for. But yeah, other than that, like, fuck, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. Which kind of good setup though. Like, got his ass when he was fucking playing video games, so he had no idea what the fuck he was
signing. What he just signed. Yep.
That's crazy. And to round up, let's talk about the cheesemate alert. Okay.
Oh,
so this is where we get the cheesemate. Whether it's from me, from Angie, or from what we see on the internet. Honestly, I don't really have anything crazy other than this just happened to me the other day, and it fucking annoyed the shit out of me. And I was like, is it just me, or does anybody else feel this way? And I think it's a rule that needs to be established. Like, everybody needs to know this.
Right.
If you haven't seen someone, you haven't talked to someone in, say, fucking over a year, even, I would say even before that, I would say.
I haven't talked to you in a week.
I haven't talked to you in a week, right. No matter what time, I just feel like FaceTiming someone without giving them an alert is just mad disrespectful. Like,
I don't like it.
I just don't. So I haven't talked to this person in over a year, and this motherfucker sends me goes on Facebook, and I'm looking at her like, I'm looking, because you know how you look at yourself, and I was like, am I really getting a fucking, I ain't talked to you in so long, and like, no. So to me, it's like, let's establish that, please. It's just like calling before you fucking text. If you could just leave it in the text, please just do it that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, girl. This is why I changed my number. I got people just, you in a whole different country, you still trying to call me? Like, come on now.
Yeah, man. And then to top it off, like, people move on, people start relationships. Like, you're FaceTiming someone who could, like, say it was, and this probably happens with like exes too. Like, this person could already be married with kids and shit, and here you are FaceTiming.
Girl, that's exactly what I told him. I'm like, how did you not know I wasn't married? Or, you know, like, why are you still hitting me up? That's so stupid.
Like, you know the trouble you could be causing, like, drama-free fucking relationships because your dumbass decided to fucking FaceTime instead of calling or texting. Like a quick heads up. And not to mention, let's just keep it all the way a buck, man. I don't fucking like, if I don't look good, I don't want you to fucking FaceTime me. I don't feel comfortable. Like, I barely let my man fucking FaceTime me. I don't even like my man to see me when I look real busted, and he lives with me. But if I'm like looking real busted and he's FaceTiming while he's at work, like, I want to look presentable for whoever may be in the fucking background. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, if somebody FaceTimes me and I'm not looking good, this is what they're going to see. That's it. That's it.
Hello? Andrew, you there? It's the ceiling. Angie?
That's all you need.
I think that's something that should have been established, but apparently people don't fucking know that you shouldn't be FaceTiming someone without giving them a heads up, a fucking text at least to say, hey, if you have a minute, can
you FaceTime?
Something. But anyway, that's my cheesemate. You got anything?
Yeah, so my cheesemate is I get on Instagram and I see this funny video about a girl like paying for stuff, and you know, because all the guys on there are commenting like, yeah, they don't exist, blah, blah, blah. I've done it. You've done it. So, you know, it's okay to like spoil your man a little bit. But this girl was like buying him games and paying his rent and all this stuff. So I said, don't do it, sis. You still get played in the end. Last time I checked, I had 1,300 likes and like 100 comments on it because people really agreed on it. And I was like, oh shit, well, I guess, you know, might as well promote Ladies Lounge on there so people can, you know, hit us up. So yeah, it's just funny to me how relatable, you know, our situations are to other people. And that's why we have our podcast, because we can talk about our situations. Honestly, I didn't even think it would get more than, you know, because it's weird. Remember when I went on Rotimi's page and I put a comment on there and I got in trouble for it because I was being hella thirsty? And normally that's what happens to me. I'll put a comment on, you know, some kind of video, especially on celebrities, and they'll end up liking it. I've had some celebrities in my DMs or whatever, but, you know, I just think it's funny that if I go in there, it catches people's attention. And so I'm like, all right, listen, just click on that YouTube link, you know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing. Okay. I think that you had a good comment to make, though, because it's something that's really fucking relatable. So I think we elaborate on that real quick. So the post was about what?
a girl basically paying for stuff. Like if they're at the store, she was paying for stuff that they were, you know, she went and bought him like a video game, and then they went to his apartment and he had like an eviction notice, and then she started making it rain on him to like pay his rent, you know. And
so basically she saved his ass.
Basically. And you know, I mean, we've all done it. We've all helped
Yeah.
somebody that, you know, we love, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it, but I'm just saying, like, if you do, you're more than likely going to get played still. That's not just it happens, you know. So
your comment was don't do it.
I said, don't do it, sis. You still get played in the end. And so apparently 1,300 people agreed with me.
And that's right now. Like, that's going to continue to grow. And it's because so many, and if you look, did you check? I bet you it's all women, right? Most women.
I've had some guys on there. This one guy commented, he said, "Shh, you mad loud." So, you know, he's from the East Coast.
That's funny.
But then he was in my stories, looking at my stories. So clearly, you know, I caught his eye. So,
well, listen, hey, maybe there's something to it. Maybe you got to go and leave fucking comments and people's fucking shit.
I'm telling you.
Drop the bait.
I got it, girl.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying maybe you should do that for yourself. Like, if these dudes, okay, so that dude went from responding to your comment to going to watch your fucking thing. There's something to it. Maybe you're in the dating scene without necessarily
even voting.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I did get hella follows too.
See? Take note then. I'm just saying, maybe what you got to do is be up in the comments and stuff, and then the love of your life is going to magically appear one day, and it's like, it wasn't even planned, according to him. Wasn't even planned. You know what I'm saying? It was something that was organically happening to both of you. Like, you had no idea he was going to come in your DMs, but you kind of did. I just think there's something to it there. But I think it's so funny because it's true when it comes to situations like that. It's like, I think with women, a lot of women, we are givers, right? We're naturally the nurturing type. We're naturally, there's a reason why we become mothers, because we naturally have that. So taking care of a man, there's nothing wrong with that. But like you said, you've been through situations where you've taken care of the wrong man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't mean to get deep on you, but like, how do you fucking know what's right and what isn't? I think even though we have it in us to take care of the person, and we have good intentions, we do have to watch out for when it's too soon to start fully taking care of someone. Like that girl basically paying for his eviction. If they just started dating and she's just got guap like that and is dropping it on him, yeah, that could be dangerous, because it's like he may just be setting her up. You know what I'm saying? But if you have been with someone for a while, like you've been with someone for so long, and then they end up losing their job or whatever, you just happen to be the breadwinner, then you can, I think you should figure that out then. You know what I'm saying? Why you're doing it. So you're doing it because obviously you ride for him and you care for him and you know he's a good person, but don't fall into the trap of like, it's way too soon and you're already paying for all his shit.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I've had, you know, guys that they got it like that, and they've offered to me like, yo, if you need help, I got you. And I remember one time, you know, I was struggling, and this guy was like, and I mean, I was off and on with him for like 2 years. So, you know, for him to offer it was, and so I asked my friends like, hey, what do you think? Should I take it? And they were like, yeah, do it. And I didn't end up doing it because honestly, I just didn't feel comfortable with him paying for my rent. So I was just
why? Is it because you felt like he was gonna, I mean, that it could have been against backfire? Like you owe him something?
Yep. And so, you know, the last time we had seen each other, I mean, I was basically the one who made the decision to like not want to be with him, and so he was pretty bitter after that. And I know for a fact, had I taken the money, he would have been like, "You owe me," and he would have, you know, he's in entertainment too, so he definitely probably would have like dragged my name. So I'm glad I never did. But you know, whatever. If you want somebody paying for your rent, then I mean, go ahead and do it. But I personally wouldn't even take it.
Yeah. And that's because obviously you just had that feeling, like you knew like he's a good person now, but fuck that. The last thing I want is for somebody to, you know, throw it in my face that they helped me. Although it's crazy that there's so many men that are so willing to take, you know what I'm saying? Like so willingly, like, okay, you're gonna pay for my rent, cool. That's
and I never asked you to do that.
Yeah, like that's just it's fucking insane to me. But There's just a lot we can dive into when it comes to fucking relationships and dating and stuff like that. So we're always going to have some good cheese on that. But for now, I think we did a good job on trying to format our show. So
last call.
Last call. I forgot about last call. Okay, so last call is,
wrapping up our show, giving you guys all the links and all that good stuff to follow us, and just us signing off and telling you guys thanks for watching.
It's a ladies' lounge, and it may be a little cliche to say last call, but I just think it's dope. And we want to always remember to tell you guys that it's important for you guys to follow us in all these different platforms, because that's how we're going to continue to grow, and that's how we'll be able to eventually be big enough to be, recognized by other podcasters and other, maybe celebrities. Who knows? Somebody that's probably going to eventually give us a pinch of clout that we need.
Right. Get to go to the podcast awards. Doesn't
Exactly.
have
We definitely want to
down for that.
Yeah, and that's going to be our first goal. Like, we really want to go to the podcast award, just because I feel like we're going to share a lot of good stuff. We're already, trying to do that with you guys now, but as we continue to grow, we want to be able to do that. So if you can, please support all the other platforms. Tell your friends about us if you can. If there's a specific, thing that you like about the show, you could actually save it and send it to a friend, wherever you market. Like, it's just different ways that you can help us by spreading the word. So for those who are tuning in, this is the first time you're listening, thank you. Go back and listen to the other episodes that we've had. If you have a relatable, situation that happened to you and you'd like our opinion on it, even if you want to send us a story, you know what I'm saying, of something that you went through, please send us an email. How can they email us, Angie?
I believe it's the ladies lounge info@gmail.com.
There you go. So all the information, of course, all of our links are posted up on the Ladies Lounge podcast. So make sure you guys follow us. If you can follow me, of course, Carmen on air. And
she is Lena Rodriguez.
Yes. So thank you guys for listening and watching. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.